Malcolm Turnbull has warned Islamic State terrorists are using the Syrian refugee crisis to gain access to Europe. But the Prime Minister's comments in the wake of the Brussels bombings haven't been welcomed by the Belgian ambassador to Australia. He says the problem is far more complex. From Canberra, political reporter Matthew Doran.
With all eyes on Brussels, the analysis begins.
European governments are confronted by a perfect storm.
A storm brewing from a list of European failures.
Foreign fighters returning from Iraq and Syria, porous borders and intelligence and security apparatus struggling to keep pace with the scope and breadth of the threat.
But Belgium's top diplomat in Australia disagrees.
We have attacks in Brussels saying that we have failed. I think it's really unfair.
He's cautioning against playing the blame game.
It's dangerous because it's precisely what ISIS wants, is that we would make a confusion between terrorism and migrant and between terrorism and Islam.
The opposition argues authorities still don't have all the facts surrounding the attacks in Belgium.
It's a bit early, in my opinion, to start diagnosing everything that's happened in Brussels.
He's commenting on a situation which is at the top of the agenda of every government in the world this morning.
Australia's threat level remains at probable, unchanged since September 2014. But the AFP have stepped up operations at the nation's major airports in the wake of the Brussels bombings.
Australia, however, is better placed than many of our European counterparts in dealing with the threat of terrorism.
To be honest, it's a bit of a statement of the obvious.
Well, that's the key.
Border defence is only one point of prime ministerial preoccupation. He's also defending Liberal seats in what's shaping as a long pre-election campaign. And amid preparations for a likely July poll, questions remain as to whether the relationship between the Prime Minister and his Treasurer, Scott Morrison, is strong, with indications Mr Morrison wasn't in the small group that decided to bring forward the budget by a week.
I think with Scott, we've got to wait until the budget comes down in May to really see the strength behind Scott's convictions and his ability as a politician.
There is no breakdown in the relationship. They work very, very closely together.
An early budget and an early test in an election year. Matthew Doran, ABC News, Canberra.